We're here in Coconut Grove, Miami for the Craft Spirits Festival. This is my favorite show. It's got all craft spirits and Miami's hottest bartenders. So let's get ready to go inside, taste some great spirits, some craft cocktails, and enjoy the evening. Let's go inside. Hi, my name is David Ortiz, aka Little Poppy in the cocktail community. I have 35 years of experience in the hospitality industry. Since I'm 18 years old, I've been behind the stick. I've been a busboy, barback, waiter, manager, you name it, I've done it. For the last 10 years, I've been on the distribution side, and I've had the pleasure of making some great friends and acquaintances. Today, I decided to go out and meet some of them in the coolest places to taste their latest creations and to guide you around our beautiful city, here at Cocktail Chronicles. So I just walked in Craft Spirits Festival and I run into these three guys. How lucky could I get? This is Mr. Frank Moreno.
What's up?
This is Mr. Tony.
How you doing, man?
And this is Mr. Eddie. How do you pronounce that last name? I always say it.
De la Masa.
De la Masa. Let me tell you, they like spirits so much that they started their own festival. So Frank, I want to ask you a question. Why the craft cocktail?
The craft cocktail not only is something that is going through its own revival, but I think an entire generation of people are beginning to embrace things that are artisanally made.
Where do you suggest for me to keep going and start the party?
I think you start the party like right here.
Right here. We started the party already. As you can see, we're having cocktails and it's gonna be a great night. So I gotta get going and check out some of these tables, some of these cocktails, and some of these mixologist creations. Here we are with Domain Select, Director of Education, my dear friend, Mr. Tad Carducci.
All right, bro.
Thank you, Tad. Good, baby. Tad, let me ask you something. You're one of the industry's heavyweights, and I know you go way back. I heard a little something. When did you start this industry?
I started bartending and I started bar backing and busting and running when I was 14.
So Tad, what are you making for us this evening?
Brother, I am going to make you a cocktail called the Dizzy Oaxacan.
Try that.
We do have to go to the Dizzy Oaxacan. Dizzy Oaxacan is a cocktail I've been doing for a lot of years. I did it for Mercadito. I did it for the Tippler in New York. For me, it kind of combines two of my loves, which are mezcal and amaro. Two things that people either love or hate.
That's
so
right.
I created this cocktail to be a kind of bridge, an easy way, kind of a gateway to get people into both of those things at the same time.
The Dizzy Oaxacan? I think I know her. So how are we going to get started on that?
All right. It's very simple. These two ingredients, some fresh grapefruit and lemon juice. I am going to take.
Well, there's the tools. Is it extremely important to use tools?
It's incredibly important to use tools, as we know. Precision in drink making is crucial, not only for accuracy and costing, but also for style points.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, man. We're old timers. We're industry. We're OG. At this point, if I can't earn myself some beautiful bar tools, what can I do?
Oh, that's the shake, baby. That's the moneymaker right there. But worldwide known, Mr. Tad Carducci.
So again, this was fresh grapefruit juice, fresh lemon juice, Amaro Lucano, and gracias a Dios.
Gracias a Dios.
Espadín joven.
Espadín joven, which means young, so it hasn't been barrel aged, correct?
Correct. 0 age on this. Finish it off with ginger beer.
I say that ginger beer fever tree #1. That's modern day ranch dressing for cocktails. Look at that shirt.
I love it.
I love the color of that cocktail on the highball. That's beautiful.
What's critical about this cocktail is it's got to be refreshing.
Beautiful. So it's good in New York and especially good in Miami.
All right, my friend. I'm going to hold the mic while you get in there, and I'm going to see what your reaction is to the Dizzy Oaxacan.
Let me get right in.
Nice. Little hang around right there, little Klingon.
Flavor saver, Tad. That's my. I go back in there. Re-get that experience. That is delicious. Perfectly balanced. Got a little spice, little smoke from the mezcal, the amaro, the bitterness, the citrus. Oh my God. Year round. I agree, man.
Thank you, my friend.
Again, here we are, Craft Spirits Festival. all my Beach Channel people. Here with Tad Carducci, the Dizzy Oaxacan. You gotta try this. Get that book. Tad, thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother. It's been a pleasure, and I can't wait to rock it out tonight at the Craft Spirits Festival.
It's been my honor. Thank you, Tad.
Cheers, brother.
Hollywood, not Hollywood, California. We're talking about Hollywood in South Florida. I got
Florida in the house, baby. What's good, you know?
954, my dear friend right here, Mr. Michael Ginsberg. I got some Kush love for you.
Always a pleasure to see you, David. So today, we're talking about Florida Kush. So Florida Kush is a completely handcrafted, 100% blue agave spirit. For all intents and purposes, Kush is very similar to a tequila or a mezcal. However, we distill an organic agave nectar instead of the piña of the agave plant. Thus, it's an agave spirit. Also, we make it in South Florida instead of Mexico.
Let me tell you, I heard a little something about agave. Is it true that it's the only distillate that is a stimulant and not classified as a depressant?
You are absolutely right, my friend.
Bing, bing, right answer, check for me. Hold on a second. You're also making a great cocktail here. Why don't you mix one up for me?
Absolutely. So today, we're doing the Biscayne Breeze from Florida Kush. The Biscayne Breeze is a cucumber, blood orange, green bell pepper, Kush margarita.
Hold on, did you say green bell pepper?
Oh, I said green bell pepper. So a green bell pepper is a very underutilized vegetable in cocktails. Really gives it a great flavor, springs out the cucumber, the blood orange, it cuts it with the agave, great citrus flavor. We're gonna cook one up right now.
So it gives it a little flavor and body.
A little flavor, not too much spice, just exactly what you want in a perfectly balanced cocktail.
And this is a craft cocktail because you're using fresh ingredients?
Always fresh, never frozen.
No substitution for fresh.
Not at all, my friends.
There you go, another fancy tool, a Japanese jigger, baby.
Oh, only use the fanciest jiggers around. I mean, these precision pouring, you know, doesn't get much better than this.
I like that flair though. I like that, it's right in there, that quick little flair. And that's fresh citrus pre-pressed?
Fresh citrus, squeezed it today with the handheld juicer.
All right, can't go wrong there. Now, another thing about the juicers I've heard, instead of your juice being in the fresh press squeeze, it keeps better, right?
Oh, absolutely. You know, once you squeeze it, you want to keep it in there, shake it up a little bit every now and then, keep it fresh.
Less oxidation, baby, less oxidation. This cocktail looks really, really good. Why don't you get in there, get some ice?
Ice it up right now.
He's mixing it up, ladies and gentlemen. Beach Channel folks, keep your eye on this. There's that shaker face. Look at that smile.
It's all about the teeth.
It's all about the teeth. 50, 25, and 25. 26, 26. Keeping it sexy. Oh, there it is. One for me, one for you.
One for you, one for I.
I always say, a bird can't fly on one wing.
Salud, my friend.
Salud, my friend. Brother, you nailed it with that pepper, that green pepper.
That green bell pepper, like I said, it really brings out that flavor. And you can catch this cocktail at the 2017 Fort Lauderdale Margarita Festival.
Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? South Floridians, 2017.
Fort Lauderdale Margarita Festival.
Be there and get some of this. So Mike, let me ask you something. You just mentioned the Tequila Festival in Fort Lauderdale. What do you think about Fort Lauderdale?
I love Fort Lauderdale. I'm born and raised in Hollywood. I've been living on Miami Beach for the last 6 years. It's a lifestyle that's absolutely second to none. Going for runs on the beach every day, riding my bike around, knowing everybody in the neighborhood, everybody in the industry. You know, it's one big family down there.
Does it have a craft cocktail movement going on there?
Oh, absolutely. You know, after working in hospitality the last 6 years on the beach, definitely a movement towards craft cocktails. You see a lot of craft bars coming up. A lot of the high-end hotels are really focusing on craft. And, you know, it's a great movement. It's something everyone's embracing right now. And why not? You know, you want to have a fresh cocktail on a daily basis.
You know what I like to say? The cocktails become a before thought, not an afterthought. It used to be an afterthought where it was secondary. Thank you very much. Kush,
David,
Kush. Always a pleasure. Remember, Florida Kush.
Share that Kush, baby.
So here we go. We're here with my dear friend AJ, Prescribed Spirits Gin. Let me tell you, AJ, give me a little bit about this local Florida sustainable gin.
So Prescribed Spirits, it's a soft, subtle American gin. I want to go real light, real subtle with it. 5 botanicals, keep it simple. I've been cooking for 10 years. I wanted to bring the, the complexity and the creativity side of the kitchen into the spirit world.
That's right. You've been a cook, a line cook, a chef. Yeah, and it's made in Florida. And I know are you from Colorado, correct?
Yeah, moved down here 3 years ago. Been producing Prescribed Spirits for 2 years. Messing around with distillation for about 6.
So it's been a passion, or was it just kind of a evolution?
Well, it started with like trial and error and like just messing around, and then it kept going and kept going. It's fun to do, and then somehow it turned into a business.
What? But were you aware of the craft spirit movement?
Yeah, exactly.
So you were in on.
Well, Colorado. I mean, obviously everyone knows Colorado, the craft beer and the craft cocktails. I mean, the food scene's huge out there. Moved down to Miami. It's just kind of starting. It's a little bit behind Colorado, but
we're getting there. We're getting there. Another thing that I really like, it's South Florida Distillers where you produce your juice, correct?
Yep.
Right. So what do you think about the Craft Spirits Festival?
So I actually released this bottle, the American Gin, 2 years ago at the Craft Spirits Festival. So this is 2 years right now.
So this is, we're talking about it's a birthday?
A couple days later, but yeah, we're in the week. We're in the same week.
It's a toddler.
Yeah, exactly.
So
baby. It's my baby.
So the other day, he went up to my bar. We were playing around,
right,
and we were talking about fall cocktails, and I see the ISI.
Exactly.
I see some great spirits. What are you mixing up today? Why don't you mix us up a cocktail?
So today we're doing the barrel finished apple pie. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to make an apple pie in a glass. So you have the apple cider, you have the barrel finished gin, and then it's going to be topped with a hazelnut whipped cream with a dust of nutmeg on top. So essentially, you're going to get the fat component from the whipped cream. You're going to get the spices of the nutmeg, and then you got the apple cider. So the whole point is you're eating an apple pie in a glass.
So we were talking about that. We were talking about the viscosity content of the cocktail. Also, tell me a little bit about this barrel finish. How do you do that? What's the inspiration for that product?
So the barrel finished is put into brand new American oak barrels for just under 6 months. I personally like barrel finished gins. I had a couple. The difference between mine is we use new barrels. It's not an Old Tom, so there's no sugar added. There's no coloring added. This is all from the wood. So I use the barrels twice. So it's a first run barrel and a second run barrel.
What are you toasting those barrels at?
They're char 3s.
Right on. Let's get in with this cocktail, baby. Mix it up.
We start with the barrel finished.
Right on. Oh, cheers. Cheers.
The apple cider mix.
And that's a culinary component right there. That's molecular, baby. A little molecular mixology.
And then we're going to top it with the nutmeg.
Bring that bad boy up here. Did you make yourself one or no?
Nah, you're good.
It's only been 2.5 hours of enjoying libations and cocktails, talking to great people. I'll tell you, it's hard work, man. Somebody's got to do it.
Right?
Cheers. Let's get in here. AJ, I want to eat it all. This is delicious.
Apple pie.
American is apple pie. Little bit on my flavor saver there. Let me enjoy that. This is delicious. This screams fall. This screams refreshing. You know what, man? You got to give me this recipe because this is delicious. PrescribedSpirits.com. We're here, Craft Spirits Festival. All my South Florida people, all my Beach Channel people, you can't miss this event next year. It's only growing and growing and getting better and better. What do you think, AJ?
Oh, it's a great event. I always love coming here, seeing what everybody else is doing. Obviously, the craft scene's growing, and you get to watch it all happen here. So, changes every year.
Touche. That's the truth. Thank you very much, my brother. Finally made it. 2 floors of craft spirits and cocktails, 2.5 hours. I finally made it to the top at the Big Boy Bar with my dear friend, Mr. Rob Amato.
Man, 2.5 hours, your job must be tough.
Hey man, it's a tough job. Somebody's got to do it. You know, like I say, if you love what you do for a living, you'll never work a day in your life.
That's right.
Ain't that true? My dear friend Rob here is from the city of sin, Las Vegas. What brings you down here?
Craft Spirits Festival and John Drew Brands.
John Drew Brands. Tell me a little bit about this Dove's Tales and the John Drew Brands.
The Dovetail rum's a 3-year-old Florida rum, sugarcane from Florida, all the way aged and distilled in Florida.
You hear that, people? Florida, Florida. So Rob, why did they put you up on top?
They put us up top because we have to use smoke.
That's right. I see the wooden boards. You got some fire with that?
Absolutely, because there's no smoking in the building.
I hear you, baby. I hear you. What are you making there, cocktail-wise? I see you got a mixing glass, you got your jigger, your bar spoons. Looks like you're making a classic cocktail.
Absolutely, we're doing a smoked old-fashioned with the Brixton Mash Destroyer.
Smoked old-fashioned. And you're smoking that with that wood. What kind of wood is that? Is that just a regular...
Regular oak.
Regular oak? How about you mix this up a couple and see, and we'll kick it around and see how it goes.
Absolutely.
What are you gonna mix this cocktail with there, Rob?
Gonna mix this with the Brixton Mash Destroyer. It's a Kentucky straight bourbon blended with a Florida rum.
So how does that work? You got Kentucky straight bourbon, you're bringing it in from Kentucky, and then you're mixing it with your Dovetail Florida rum?
Yes.
So is there a particular reason you guys, because that's a different style of rum. How do you classify that? Not a bourbon, not a rum?
It's a different category all in itself.
Yeah, category-wise, you guys are pushing the envelope, doing something totally off the wall, bringing two spirits together. That's pretty cool. I'm really excited to taste that. Why don't you get going and mix that up for us? We can get drinking here. In the old-fashioned, what kind of sweetener are you going to use for that cocktail?
We're gonna use a Demerara syrup. It happens to make the Brixton Mash pop better in an old-fashioned.
Right on. So different types of sweetener have a different effect than the old-fashioned.
Yes. And on the base product.
Right on. So you know I love old-fashioned. That's probably the class of cocktail that I enjoy the most. And I use, believe it or not, I've been using a little bit of agave nectar in mine. What do you think about that?
I love using agave nectar. It's real prevalent out in the Southwest where we are, so you know, it's always.
So how many ounces of that Demerara you're putting in?
Half ounce for each cocktail.
Right on. See, I usually go about 3/4 ounces, but my preference is a little sweeter. How about bitters?
We're gonna use some chocolate mole bitters.
Ah. I love that brand, Mr. Avery Glasser with Bitterman's Bitters. That chocolate mole really does add on to that. Are you just gonna use the chocolate?
Yeah.
To complement the rum and the bourbon? I think that works out really well.
There's a lot of chocolate notes in the Brixton Mash. That's why there's chocolate bitters in it to complement those.
Right on, man, right on. I heard you know a little bit about tobaccos as well.
I do just a little bit, and that's why we're smoking the cocktail here, because the John Drew Brands have a cigar lineage.
Nice. You know, I've been told, and I preach, that the cocktails become about stimulation of the 5 senses. Sight, sound, smell, touch, taste, and of course, passion, the most.
Absolutely. Passion's the first thing. If you put a lot of love and passion in your cocktail, it's always going to come out good.
It's like a chef that cooks with passion, has these beautiful little pieces of food on the plate, charges you a ton of money, but you keep going back because it's made with passion. Usually I have to go to Wendy's and get something to eat afterwards. But so you smoked it. You already smoked the glass, so that's going to have the sense of smell. Right on. And now you're stirring. Particularly, could you tell me a little bit of why you're stirring the cocktail versus shaking the cocktail?
Because stirring chills it without breaking it down.
So the dilution's a little less, and more classic spirits that are spirit forward tend to be stirred rather than shaken for dilution. Look at that, that's beautiful. I love that. There you go. You're gonna drop that right in. It got a little beaker. No, it's got a little smell going on right there. I'm excited. I can't wait to taste that. You got a baby face. You have an idea on you. Are you old enough to drink?
Absolutely.
I figured you're shaking them up. Salud. That's delicious. That hits all marks. Man, I think you got a winner chicken dinner on that one. Brother, thank you very much. Thank you for coming out from Vegas, coming here in Miami. Craft Spirits Festival, Dove's Tales, Florida Rum. Brixton mash, and we're gonna have a little Drew Estates to go with that.
Absolutely.
I'm in heaven. I got it all. Thank you, brother. Keep looking. Florida, Dove's Tail, Craft Spirits Festival. Let me tell you what a great night. Here in Coconut Grove, Miami, we're at the Craft Spirits Festival. I met some new friends, ran into some old ones, tasted some great spirits and cocktails. Mixologists from all over South Florida, mixing up their latest libations and creations. Till next time, here in Cocktail Chronicles, keep it responsible and keep it sexy.